Yeah, he was on. He was happy.
This image here is called nihet, and it means protection in Medunetter. It's a Medunetter word. I can pull up the Medunetter word. Today it's called a hexagon from the word hika. Okay. So this was the word niyat, and it meant protection. It was a representative in Kemet of the womb, because the female, the woman, was the original protector. She was called the Sa, which was the protector. The woman was the protector before the male. So you were protected inside of the womb, and they took the protection story to create. They took the protection story to create.
Shout out to Keeper of a Flame.
To create the Jesus story. So the woman kept you safe inside the womb. It was called the Het Heru, the house of Heru. And the woman kept you safe, and you were surrounded by female energy, which is why men like to have a lot of women around them. From the time that you're in a womb, every direction that you look in, you're surrounded by a woman. The woman is your safety, and you're connected to her by your umbilical cord, and you're feeding off of her. So you're getting nothing but female energy for 9 months. You're connected to the woman, and you start off as a woman. So every man here has been a woman. The woman actually is what produces the male genitalia. So then the woman keeps you safe, and then she delivers you. She delivers you. When you come out, you're soaked in blood. The sex goddess, one of the sex goddess was called Sin Inanna. Inanna Sin, the moon goddess. She was named after her father. Okay, so thus we have.
Shout out to Triple JC. What up, Triple JC?
We have that you are. Yes, we can talk about her too. Wow, so much. So the woman was the savior, and then when she laid down, she became the deliverer, and she delivered you out of sin. Right. So the sin,
I got you.
sin.
That's cold.
And then you're washed in the blood.
Yeah.
You come out. You're safe. She's your savior. She's your deliverer, and then you're delivered and you're washed in the blood, and she sheds her blood for you every month. The word shed comes from the word shad, and it's the ancient Mennonite word for vagina. It's also the word for mummy. So the word, when they say Jesus shed his blood, that's a Masonic code word. Shed is shad, and it represents a duality. The woman is the duality. She's a symbol of life and death, which is one of the reasons why the word shed means its own opposite. You see, in the English language, you're not supposed to have a word that means its own opposite. So if I say to you, kill a priest, if somebody says, kill a priest, shed your clothes, what are you doing with your clothes?
Taking them off.
You're taking them off, right? But if I say...
Tupac said he shed so many tears.
Right, shed. That means you're getting rid of something. That's the word shed.
Yeah.
Right? But if I say I want to shed some light on the situation, now what am I doing? Adding.
Yeah.
How can the one word mean two of its opposites?
Shed some light.
The one word shed means to take away, and the word shed means to add on to. Yeah. It's a symbol of duality. It was a Kemetic word of duality, and it's the ancient word for vagina, which was formed with your hand like this, and that became the prayer. And that's why Christians pray like this. It's the Vesica Pisces. It's the symbol of the vagina. That's why the word venerate, which is the old word for prayer, means it's from Venus.
Oh, give him another bang. He going in. Going in.
And we didn't even get to the
wow.
There's so much.
Wow.
That's the hex. Okay, so now we're getting to the Medunetter word. Here is the Medunetter word for the tree of life, the tree which is the Nehet, and you see on the screen here. This is the word right here, which is Nehet. On the screen here. And it is a tree, myrrh tree, fig tree, and it's called the Nehet. Now I want to show you the...
There's a big... Nan and Inanna. There's a big difference between. Would that be Akkadian and Inanna?
Okay, where's that? Where's the? Let's see if we find. There. Okay, here we go. So here it is. So this is the symbol right here in the Medunetter. If you can, everybody look on the screen. Here's the Medunetter word for protection, and is the inside of the six-pointed star. That what's called the hexagon or the hexagram. It means protection, and it's actually the symbol of the fibers of the womb. The fibers of the womb actually look like a beehive, which is the hexagon, which is what the bees are inside of that protects them. So when you look at this ancient Meta word, it was a place of refuge. It was a place of protection. That was the womb of the woman, and it was also worn as an amulet. And so when you look at...
Shout out to Bobby Blunt. Bobby turned that aqua for $1, $5. Good.
So this became the symbol of protection, and it was a symbol of love, or making love. The way you said love in Phoenician was Dawood. Dawood, and the goddess of love was Ishtar. From the word Ishtar came the word star. And so you have Ishtar, which is star, the goddess of love, and then you had Dawood, which was the word for love, and that's where
Arabic for love.
right, and that became the star Ishtar of Dawood, which became the star of David.
Yeah.
And that's why religious people can't explain how does this 6-pointed star relate to King David in the Bible. It doesn't. It doesn't. There's nowhere in the Bible where it describes a 6-pointed star. It's an ancient symbol of a Dawood, a love symbol, which is a making love symbol, and a protection symbol in the womb of Ishtar. So
And that's why the hex is sex.
right. So when
That's
you look
all.
at the inside of
And
the
they had a star too.
look at the fibers of the womb inside. See? Look at that. The outer layer, the middle layer, and the inner layer. Look how it looks. See that?
What's that?
See, that's the nehet. That's the inside of the womb, the inside of the woman. When you look at the fibers and you peel the fibers back, you have the nehet symbol. That's what the Cometians knew.
You saying that this part right here?
This look like. See all the hexagrams? See all the inside 1,
Right
2, 3,
there.
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See them all? That's the nehet of the womb, and it means to protect. That's the original matrix. The original matrix was good.
And when you talk about sex to children, you talk to them about the birds and the bees have a hexagram honeycomb.
Yes, and the bees was how you became a king. The word for king in Kemet was nesu bee. The word bee in English comes from the Kemetic word bee in Kemet, and it was a symbol of how you became a king. And that's why the word bee, when you become a man, you become the letter B. And people say, well, how is this so? Is because you become a man at 13. The number 13 is where the B derived from. The letter B is a 1 and a 3 put beside each other. When you put the 1 and 3 beside each other, you get the 13. That's when you become a man or a mason, and that's why the letter M is the 13th letter.
Oh man, Tehuti going in, bro.
Yeah, and you become a
Yo, bring that back down so I can shout
become a
out.
B. But there's the
Shout out
nehet
to
symbol
Glenn
right there.
Skinprat.
There it is right there. And that's what the Cometians know. So that's why you were protected and saved by the woman until you were delivered, and then you were born of sin and washed in the blood. And the blood was called Mary. Mary. That's why they called Jesus' mother Mary. Mary-yam is composed of 2 different words. Mary, which is a Kemetic word for water, and yam, which is a Phoenician word for salt water. It was the bitter water or the salty type water that comes out of a woman's vagina. That was the Maryam, and that's why Jesus' mother's name is Maryam.
That's the water. Mem. Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Can we give him some hand shot? That was fly, yo. That was hard break. That was a dope breakdown, yo. That was crazy. Dope breakdown. That was a dope breakdown. Man.
And it's also very synchronistic to what even Jordan Maxwell talks about with the marine and being born of the water.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. Marina
Yeah.
Del Rey. Yeah.
Marine and
That's the name. Yeah.
and being born at the dock of the water, and then a maritime law.
That's where it comes from, and that's why the woman inside the woman's womb is where things are brought together. So inside the woman, that means you could take sperm and shoot it anywhere, and nothing will happen. The only place that sperm, the only place that sperm is going to turn into you is inside of a woman. That's where the male and the female link to become one, to form that baby, and that's why they call it a synchronicity. Synchronicity is a feminine word. It comes from the word sin.
Sin to
Yeah, sin, and that was and sin and sinet was the word for brother and sister.
to synchronize,
Right.
just as the sperm and the egg.
Yes, it comes
create.
together. Sin. That was the ancient Kemetic word, which meant to bring together. And that was a word for brother and sister. It was sin and sinet and sinti.
I was always wondering
Wow.
where that word came from. I was like, man, What is sin? What is sin? What is that? What that word?
It comes from the Sumerian god Sin. He just explained that from the god Sin. So
Yeah.
Sin, S-I-N, is actually a being, a deity from Sumer.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit on that.
Thou should not sin.
Well, Sin was a being. According to them.
And that's where all the knowledge comes from. It comes from the woman. The woman is the knowledge, and that's why when they created the word for coming out of a woman was mes or mos. Mos. And the image of it was a woman squatted down, because you're not supposed to have a baby on your back.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have a baby squatted down. Okay? So the woman squatted down, and the baby coming out was the word mes or mos. Mos. And this is where you get the word Moses from. And that's why Moses' story begins with him coming down a stream of water. That's the woman's water breaking. So the Moses comes out of the water, and where he gets his information from is Mount
Sinai.
Right, Sinai. When Jesus is on the cross in the story, he says, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, in Hebrew. Eloi, that I at the end of a word means my. So when you put the letter I or a yod in the Phoenician, or what they call the Hebrew, at the end of the word, it means my. So you have Eloi, that means my God. So take that same principle and apply it to sin. You get Sinai or Sinai. That's my sin. That's where Moses got his information from, on the mountain of sin.
Man, there's nothing else to say, but damn, shout outs. That's crazy.